Hello everyone, and thank you for watching this advanced CG tutorial. Now I will show you how to create advanced CG template, how to use keywords in object naming in CG editor, and at the end how to prepare your video files to be ready for this kind of automation, and finally how to create CG macro commands which will allow you to trigger CG templates and start CG templates during a video playout and during the life of each video file in the playlist. First necessary step is to prepare your video files to be able to use advanced CG graphics. So I will just prepare two files and use these two files to show you how to create watching now, watching next graphics. So for these both files, please note that it is possible to change some mutual properties if you select using Shift or Control keys on your keyboard. You can edit multiple properties at once. So I will just select both files and select program type, or I will define this that these two files belong to our program content. The next one, to allow advanced graphics and promo graphics, it is necessary to check follow and promo checkboxes for each file. And finally, it is necessary to enter follow text metadata, because this text will be used as an actual CG output in air. So I will define this metadata. Just a moment. And for the first file, the follow text should appear on our screen is DTM 2013. For now we will skip description, but you can use also description text field as a second source for your CG. At the end, the second clip will contain F3 movie as a metadata for follow text field. So this is first step, and this is enough to enable these two files to use advanced CG graphics. As a second step, we should create CG template to be used for watching now, watching next graphics. To do that, we will use again our CG editor, and I will quickly try to create new template to show you how easy it's actually. And I will just create new template, rename this template as watching now next, and I will just decide that this template is this template belongs to now next templates type. So this is first step during template creation. The second step, we will need 4 different text objects. The first one is headline. So I will not bother too much about design. I will just show you technology. So the first object is the basic one, and it will serve as a headline for our graphics. So this should be something like watching now. Notice that text is automatically adapted to size, and remember that in some other tutorials you can find information about scaling in CG templates. Next, we will rename this object with double click here, and we will just name it as watching headline. And that's all. This is first object which we have. Now we need another one. We need object which will actually show our metadata from the playlist. And to be really precise, we actually need to show follow text metadata for current movie on air and also for next movie which will follow. To do this, we use something which is called keywords. So how to tell, to play out, please replace this text on air in real time with something from database. To do that, we use keywords, and on this left side here in help you can find all available keywords which can be used for your automation. So in case of now next templates, you can use several keywords, and the first one is CG Now. If you use CG Now keyword, playout will replace this sample text on air with follow text field for the current event which is on air. CG Now description will be equally replaced with description text field, and so on, so on. So to finish this template, I need to rename the following text, the selected text object. So I will use precise syntax. So please note that this is case sensitive. So you need to use all keywords exactly like in this help. So I should rename this object as CG Now, and that's all. Now I will have need to define duration for these two objects. So what we actually need? We need to have these two objects to show immediately, and after a few seconds to hide this object and show watching next. So next two objects which we need to add to this template. So to do that, I will just define timing for first two objects. So my headline, it's fine. So please go from my left side. I will activate time blending, and I will set, okay, just be on air for just 3 seconds, 3000 milliseconds to be precise. And for my second object, I will also activate animation, and also I will activate time blending with a little bit longer duration. So for example, 3200 milliseconds, same in-out transition duration, but with small delay. So I want to have a headline first, and then after some small time amount, I want to show my metadata or my text object which will be replaced by metadata from the playlist. So I will choose a small duration, small delay, just 200 milliseconds. So if I press preview, I can immediately watch this, something like that. So just ignore this sample text, because anyway it will be replaced with the real one from the playlist. So now we need two more objects. We want to show watching next. So what should I do? I will just take the first one and use this button on top and clone it. I will just duplicate my object, and immediately I will rename it as watching next. You can freely type whatever you want for these headlines, because this text will be broadcasted as is, so without any replacement. So you can type anything. So this is my watching next, and also I need to clone this object, CG Now, but now I will rename this object as CG Next. So you can find CG Next keyword in help. Also, remember that we set animation parameters, and remember that we set delays. So duration for this first object is about 3 seconds. So for next two, I need to set delay, which is at least 3200 milliseconds. And also for CG Next, I need to set same amount, something like 3400 milliseconds. So anyway, you need to play with these delays, and in case if you have some video animation, QuickTime animation video behind, in that case you need to play a little bit with delays, with duration, with in-out animation to make template perfect for broadcast. So now when I press preview button, we should see our complete animation. So watching now, and after 3 seconds it should be watching next. So notice that delay was not so good because I forgot to include my in-out animations and duration of in-out animations in final delay calculation. So I will just increase it for 1 second, so it will be 4200 milliseconds, and for CG Next it will be 4400. So, and finally it should be much better now when we press preview button. Okay, and watching now. And from this moment we can press reset to see all objects on screen again, but now this template is ready to be used. One more mistake, we forgot to change text content for our second headline, so it should be watching next. And of course, like with any other template, it must be published to be ready for playout. As a third step, we need to create CG macro commands. So to do this, we can use remote control or scheduler application, but most important is to understand what is actually CG group or group of commands. CG group is a basket of different CG commands, something like CG commands container, which can be applied on any files or live event or stream event in the playlist. So to create this, it is enough just for the start to add group, and immediately new group appear on the groups list. Then we need, like in any other procedures in CG editor or in scheduler, we need to rename our CG group to be recognizable during the playlist creation. So I will name this CG group as my testing now next group. So now we have a group. So what we can do with this? Now we need to add commands in this group. So for the start, we need to press Add Command button. So after pressing Add Command button, new command appear in the list. Please note that there is no limitation how many commands you can have, and also there is no limitation about different command types. So you are able to force now next graphics, then to change your logo at certain time, then to start the general graphics, and finally to do some clearing of all these graphics at the end. To be able to define each command, you need to follow the next procedure. The first is name command. So it will be next, watching now next one. So this is first appearance of my template during the playout video file live. So we define a name. So what type of command we want to use? Now we need now and next command. Immediately when you select now next, all appropriate templates will be shown here. So now I will choose recently created template just before a few minutes, and then Playout will ask us in which mode you want to play this command, after start of some video file, before end of video file, or in loop at certain time period. So I will say, okay, play this command, my first command, several seconds after start. So you can choose this, and I will tell, okay, 5 seconds after start. This first command is ready to be used. Then I need to add additional command. So I will name it as watching again. So again, we will use now next type. Then we will choose the same template, or you can use different templates. Again, after start, because we will not have a time to wait video file to be ended. And now I need to play it at 15 seconds from start. And finally, to show you how flexible is, then I will play some other type. So let's play crawl. And again, I will choose graphics type. And in following drop-down menu, I will see all my graphics type templates. So this will be a new crawl or test crawl, for example. Again, after start, please note that if you use loop and define some time period, this one will enter command to play this crawl every 10 seconds during the file duration. So we will not use this, of course, for crawling. So I will just return to mode after start, and then I will set something like 40 seconds from start. Of course, you can use hours, minutes, so the defining of time is very flexible depending on duration of your actual video files. So I will use 40 seconds. So my group is already done and ready to be applied. As a last step, we need to apply these CG macro commands to a playlist event. How we can do this? Actually, on two different ways. The first one, we can use browser section, and we can attach this CG group for each video file in our database individually. So in graphics tab, we can choose our new CG group and just select it. If we do that, in that case, every time when this playlist is loaded, when this event is loaded in the playlist, CG group will be attached automatically. So this is way number one. So now we will clear this relation, and I will show you how we can do it on another way. So let's drag these two files in the playlist, and please note these metadata flags, follow and promo, are shown actually in our playlist. Then I will insert some commercial just to show you that Playout is smart enough to make difference between commercials and program content. And finally, I will use my right mouse button to choose CG macro commands menu. We will use insert commands, and in drop-down menu we will see all our created groups. So now I will use testing now next group and just press this small yes button. Please note that CG macro is applied only on program type. So you can select complete playlist, and CG macro commands will be applied only on program type, music type, live sources and stream sources. Now it is enough just to play next, take next, and you will see in next 40 seconds how these CG commands actually work. And that's all. Scroll appear, and now we can use manual command to remove this scroll from on air. For the end, please remember that each template type is played on own layer, so you're able to play simultaneously at the same time graphics, now, next, lower third without interrupting each other. Thank you for watching this tutorial.